As also shared by in a statement of Ms. Carr, that a program to increase teachers' salary had somehow decreased the rate of retention, but there is still more to do to retain the teachers. And Marava is one of the schools that is enlisted in this particular program. In the end, it has been explained that Education Department has planned to build houses specially for teachers in Maraiva to reduce the retention rate, but there are issues beyond the monetary benefits. Kim Beswick, director of UNSW, suggested that teachers at metropolitan schools must be motivated to work in rural schools for a set pattern of time to enhance their teaching experiences and to understand that there are different needs of teaching and students in rural schools, which are quite different from the metropolitan schools. So this article explained the mitigation step taken by the government through the cash bonuses of a bonus of 20,000 and relocation sign-on bonus and relocation support of 8,000. And this article explained the crisis through the students' lens as well as teachers' lens. Despite the multifaceted nature of the problem, policy in this area is often limited to address directly controllable factors such as salary incentives or scholarships, both of which have limited positive impact on the issue. The result shows that secondary schools especially face challenges attracting suitable staff, with principals in 50% of remote schools having moderate or major difficulty in 2007, growing to 66% in 2010, suggesting that the problem is becoming worse. In summary, the key issues highlighted in this article are problems of teacher recruitment and retention, impact of remote learning among students that is very that needs special attention, and there is also shortage or expensive accommodation. According to research, it has been a challenge to attract and retain quality teachers in rural and remote areas of Australia. This has rural problem as far back as 1904 by explained it by Green and Reed in 2012, and still remains an ongoing problem to attract and retain the teachers in remote and isolated areas of Australia. So the question is, why teachers avoid working in rural schools in Australia? Here are certain barriers and the mitigating steps to minimize that risk. One of the barriers include desire or need to return home by the teachers. professional advancement is and as well as lack of appropriate incentives to retain teachers and poor selection of teaching personnel, followed by dissatisfaction with teaching and or living in rural areas. The potential policy to address this issue includes include improved ICT infrastructure, increased budget for professional development, paid study leave, increased leave with length of service, allowing principals a trial period before accepting positions, encourage teachers from rural and remote areas to apply for rural positions, and vehicle allowances and cost of living allowances, followed by rental subsidies, acceptance payments to cover the cost of setting up a home. So I'm in support of this article that highly that is very important and towards highlighting the one of the major issues in rural areas of Australia. It correctly highlights financial incentives as insufficient for teachers' retention. It lacks focus on non-financial solutions like community support and housing, and the balanced view could be combining financial as well as non-financial strategies to retain teachers, because teachers are far away from their home and they need some emotional and social support as well. So the suggestive solution of the problem could be professional. Roberts identified four areas that require attention to ensure adequate staffing of rural schools. That includes professional support. Rural teachers needs opportunity for professional development and advancement. Rural difference, recognition that the rural teaching context is different from metropolitan teaching. Economic, recognition that rural teachers have higher cost and are locked out of economic cycle, followed by social, that means rural teachers live away from families, friends, and other support networks that I already have explained. So, in the end, I would like to think about the biggest challenges in rural teaching shortages in your area. What are the financial incentives? Are they enough to solve the crisis? And according to you, what are the solutions to mitigate that problem? Here are the references. Thank you for listening.